Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Tony of Future Creativity, and today I have Rich with River City Pens. Thanks, Rich.
Thank
I'm
you,
glad,
and thanks everyone for coming.
and I'm glad we're indoors.
Yeah,
It's finally somewhat warmer in Florida, but I mean, it's been freezing for us and what we usually get, and especially to go from like 90 degrees to now 40 or 50. So it's
yeah, it's a
crazy.
big change.
It's a drastic change. But how's it been going? You already had your first pen show Philly, and that is the first of the year, right? That kind of kicks off the pen show season.
Yeah, Philly's the first pen show of the year, and it's good to get out and get things moving again after finishing up in what was it, Halloween weekend in Ohio. That's the
Yep,
last show of the year, so it was kind of like a little lull there. You
that
kind
was
of get
mine too. Yeah.
yeah. That's where we did our first live together. This one might go a little bit better,
And shout out to Bob Clark. He locked down that hallway.
right?
That lobby was silent. Hey, Michael. Got Orlando Pen Club starting to represent on the
Good, good.
stream. Hi, everyone. Yeah, we had fun. It was a fun live stream, and we'll be streaming again in Baltimore a month from today. It's Friday, March 6th. I can't
Yeah,
believe it's already February
yeah,
6th.
it's crunch time. I'm
Yeah,
getting busy again already, and then it doesn't stop until after Orlando.
just plowing through all those months, all those pen shows. There's a lot of shows.
Yeah,
There's a ton of shows.
I'm hoping on 8 this year that we're gonna do. So we'll
Wow,
see
it's
how that goes.
fantastic. And
Yeah,
you're keeping it all in the US.
yeah. I haven't figured out how to deal with duties and customs and such with the other countries, and I don't want to just sneak my stuff in and hope for the best.
Yeah, that sounds pretty stressful.
Yeah, especially yeah, I can see it now. Like 200 pens. Oh, we're gonna keep these.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Or they try to tell you, "Oh, yeah, isn't this worth more than what it is?" And
that
have you
one's
pay
worth
higher price?
$12, and that one's a dollar, and
Well,
they're
it's
just
weird too because I don't know how it works. I've never done it yet or had that headache, but do they really track how many you bring in, how many you bring out?
I couldn't get that far with it.
Yeah.
The one I tried was and it was Scriptus, and I got absolutely nowhere with trying to figure out the. It's just
The ins and outs.
it tells you to click this link, and then you go to it, and then you says click this link, and you're back to where you started after like 3 or 4 clicks, and it's just
Yeah.
no questions answered. I'm not a lawyer, and you know it was all legal talk, and I was like, oh, so I gave up.
Yeah, I would love to check out Scriptus. I heard great things. It's a 2-day show or 1 day?
Scriptus is 1 day,
1
but
day.
it's not. Toronto is only about 6 hours from Pittsburgh,
Oh,
so
that's not bad at all.
so I was thinking, go up the day before, stay over, and then drive home after the show. Um,
Wow.
but and it's at the public library up there, so it's supposed to be phenomenal. But yeah, I can't. I haven't figured that one out yet. So if
Yeah.
we have any logistic experts that want to help me out, just hit me up after the.
There you go. Someone please help Rich go international. Take the show international.
Yeah.
I know, I would love, like, Tokyo, Singapore just
Mm,
started a show.
yeah,
Malaysia, I heard Malaysia's looks crazy with some of the videos I've seen.
yeah. I
I
think
would love to go to
Singapore's
all
was on
those.
Thanksgiving last year, though. It's
Oh, wow.
obviously that's not a public holiday for them, but for us it is.
Right.
Um, so that would be out for me,
Yeah.
just because of family stuff.
Yeah.
So, but but yeah, it would be fun to travel around to some other countries and check them out, just to do the shows. So we have Megan says she wants to know if you're going to be at the calligraphy class on February 21st at Joe's Pen Shop.
Hi,
I guess
Megan.
Florida Fountain
I'm
Pen.
I'm not sure. I did see he was having a class. I will get back to you on that. Follow me on Instagram to see where I'll be heading next. Yeah, you never know. There's a bunch of events happening this year, and Philly didn't get snowed in this year.
No, we got a little
So
bit of snow, but it was warmer. It was above freezing and snowing, so, you know, what that generally means is the roads get really wet and sloppy, and it just feels terrible outside, um, but it wasn't really sticking on the roads, so it was good. That was fine, and we had a good show. It was, a lot of people there. All 3 days you know, there were a lot of people, so
wow,
usually a lot of times on Sundays, it's kind of, the people are flying home and things thin out, and it's just sort of like the weekend pass holders hanging around. But that wasn't the case. There was a lot of people at Philly on Sunday, even so. It was
that's
really
wonderful.
good to see, and I said I just love doing band shows. They're so much fun. They're exhausting afterwards. I take an extra day off work just to kind of sit around and do nothing and not talk
Yeah,
to anybody. But
yeah,
a little draining, but they're so much fun.
yeah. They're exhausting, but definitely worth it. Absolutely. Yeah, I really wanted to do that really badly this year. I was hoping to that would align this year to go to Philly, but I ended up getting a job that was like the entire week. So
Oh yeah, that'll
hopefully,
do it.
maybe 2027.
Right.
That'd be a fun way to kick it off. It looks like a great show and like big community there. So I would love to check.
Yeah, it's sponsored by or it's run by Scott Franklin with Franklin's Christoph.
Oh, nice.
So that's their show. They put that on, and they do a fantastic job. He has a large crew of volunteers that help out, and yeah, they're a great group to work with. It's right downtown. It's so you can walk to most places you want. If it's a couple of nights, it was a little chilly, so we Ubered, but and it was you know, but you're Ubering around for about $10 a trip, so because everything's so, you know,
That's not
pretty
bad.
close, and yeah, it's nice. A lot of places to eat, a lot of things to do in the area. If you want to just, you know, leave the show for a little bit, you're right around the corner from City Hall. So a lot of good stuff around. And what's the big market up there in Philly called? I can't think what it's called now. I'm just drawing a blank, but it's not. It's walking distance away. You're right. You're walking distance to Chinatown. We went to big noodle shop, old noodle shop with Nick Pang and his wife, and a couple other of us went, and he kind of directed us there and took care of the ordering for everyone. And but yeah, it was really good.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I love noodle shops. We found a really good noodle shop at Triangle last year.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that I'm hoping to get back to. It was really good. They were making them by hand right in front of you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was really, really good. So I hope we can get back there this year. It was delicious. It was super fresh. But yeah, the next show is Baltimore for both of us.
For us, yeah,
Yeah,
Is though is that next
that's right.
weekend?
I think it's
What?
the 18th it starts.
Let me do a quick search here.
Ruben, you can fly your drone where? Pretty much anywhere now. And we got Jason. Hi, Jason.
Yeah, February 19th and 22nd through 22nd is the California Pen Show in
Oh,
Los
wow.
Angeles. So we should give them a little plug to support the our West Coast friends and Frank and Daniel putting that on. That's I've heard it's a very good show on my short list.
I've heard a lot of good things too. I'm hoping to try to get over to I've never been to California, so
No,
that'd be great. I'd love to go over to that coast.
yeah, we've done San Francisco 3 times now, and I did it 3 times, and Audrey came with me twice. And but I've never done the that's really the only place I've ever been in California. So I would love to go out and do the LA show, but not this year. So
Yeah, hopefully next year.
yeah, so
You never know. You never
yeah,
know.
yeah, definitely one of the ones high on my radar. That PNW. I'm hoping to do Empire this year. I'm going to go up and try to do that one if I can get a table.
I love New York. That looked like a lot of fun last year.
Yeah,
What could be better? Penn's and New York City right there. And
right.
I think they were kind of close or in Times Square, so that's like a great location. That'd be a
Yeah,
lot of fun.
yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but they were I think it was kinda midtown, so that's
Yeah,
pretty close to Times Square, if not right there.
that would be a fun show.
Yeah. So Baltimore. So you're
Yeah,
gonna be there with Joe and the
there
gang
with
of,
Joe. Yep,
Florida Fountain Pen,
yep. We'll be
and,
running the Florida fountain pen table. I believe we have 2 or 3 tables, so
yeah, I
it'll
think
it'll be
you
a
had at
lot.
least 2 last year, so,
Yeah, and he's added now more Aurora, Omas, Esterbrook, so
yeah, great.
Pilot, Sailor. We'll be going with a whole load,
Full van load,
bunch
huh?
of ink. Yeah, hold the
The
Penterprise
Enterprise.
will rise again. And, like, maybe 6 or 7 bucket trips because it took us 16 and a half hours last
Oh,
year straight through.
gracious.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was rough. It's
yeah.
great. It's kinda good that that's the start of the pen show because 'cause you're not exhausted and kinda in the rhythm of things, so it's nice to just deep dive into that one. But, yeah, it was rough the next morning
I
to
bet.
get up and set up the table,
Oh my
but
goodness, that's 16 hours in the
yeah.
van. That's hard.
And that was
And
us, like, running into places, grabbing a Starbucks, running out, jumping back in the van.
mm,
It became quite the challenge. And running into Bucky's, grab what you need and get out.
oh,
But definitely a lot of fun. A lot of good memories. So many
yeah.
Bucky's trips, and we're kinda jonesing for Bucky's now because 'cause we've had a huge gap, so anyone needs some Bucky nuggets or something they need brought back, if Federalist is watching, fudge is coming your way because I hear they love fudge, so bring some extra of that if I don't eat it all in the van because usually it doesn't make it to the hotel when I get it. I am in love with their chocolate peanut butter fudge.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
stuff.
really good. Do you like fudge, Rich?
It's I don't crave sweets too much, but I don't dislike it. You know, I'll eat a couple pieces, but
I I wish I was that
I'm more
lucky.
for the salty stuff, you know?
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Alright, I'll
crunchy and salty.
see what we bring you that's salty from Buc-ee's.
Uh,
But I'm excited. Baltimore was so much fun last year. That was my first time at
yeah,
Baltimore last year, and I had a blast, so
yeah.
I can't
Ba
wait.
Baltimore is definitely a really, really fun show. The, it rivals, as far as like evening people being around and playing with their pens and stuff. It rivals DC easily. Um, people really. There's a lot of space in the lobby. People are down there doing their things. They do a drawing. Like giveaways the one night. I think it's Saturday night. They do the giveaways down in the lobby.
Yeah, I missed that. Last year we ended up going out to dinner, so we missed it, but
Okay.
that lobby is beautiful. It was a lot of fun hanging out at night. People seem to really linger in that lobby, so
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was
Definitely.
a lot of fun.
And we'll be releasing I have a collaboration going with Lucky Star Pens. We're going to be releasing that she'll be releasing that at the show.
That's
Um,
awesome.
they'll probably be online like just to view before that.
Mhm.
But not, I don't believe Lauren's going to put them for sale until the show. I
Nice.
don't know for sure, but yeah, every year at Baltimore, we've been since I met her at my second year at the Baltimore show. I mean, we knew who of each other, but we never had met. So we met there at the show, and we started doing a collaboration every year, and it's been going great for both of us. It's She picks some. She basically she follows a lot of the NASA and the different space telescope sites, and
Mm.
she finds pictures she likes, and she'll have someone use the different pictures for inspiration for the pens. This year's was several other ones have been done by Coral Creations, Bob Dupress, and he did a really nice one this year. It's really really nice.
Oh,
So
I can't wait.
I put some black and whites of it on my Instagram today. So if
Oh,
I, I gotta do
that's
that with
cool.
hers
That's
because she
cool,
doesn't want to really
Rich.
show them yet, but wants to like
Mhm.
sort of let people know they're coming.
Yeah,
So I do black and white pictures, and just even in black and white, they look just so cool. Um, yeah, so these are going to be really nice. So if you are a collector of Lauren's pens, this is one that I would probably one of my favorites of what I've done with her. So those are coming along.
I can't wait.
Once I finish that, I need to finally start prepping for Baltimore. I haven't done anything for myself yet for Baltimore. I mean, I always have some inventory here, but there's certain things that you want to have, and I just sent out a big shipment to a pen shop over in Singapore. Um, they they bought they wanted 20 nib holders and 20 pens,
Wow.
and so I just got those out this past week, and now I'm working on Lauren's pens. And then once that's done, that's it. I've been having to unfortunately turn down any custom work for right now just because of that, and I can't take anything else on and be ready for Baltimore. So if people are like wanting custom stuff, I do apologize, but I'm probably going to be booked up, pretty solid through a good part of the summer with the pen shows coming up. But we'll get back to it near the end of the summer for sure. And you never know, I might sometime may free up, and I could start taking some again before that. That's the hope, but I don't want to be too overly optimistic either.
That's awesome, though. Congrats.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
fantastic.
Yeah, that was a really big surprise to get that email. I was you just get the email out of nowhere in this Singapore. It's like, unfortunately,
Next.
I have a friend in Singapore, believe it or not.
Oh,
Uh, so I had him kind of go scope the place out to see what they were like. And he's like,
there
"Oh
you go.
yeah, it's a nice place." So yeah, so I'm really happy to that worked out.
That's exciting. See, your pens are already going international now. We just
Yeah,
need to get you there.
right, right. Did I ever show you my map?
No.
I have like a world map. I put all my little push pins in for like everywhere like every state, like
Oh, I love that.
cities as much as I can. But like
Mhm.
the U.S. obviously fills up in areas because every little town around Baltimore. How many pins could you put in? But you look over like into Europe and like and stuff and into Asia. It's kind of cool to see that.
Oh, I love that. I
Um,
always love that. I have a couple friends that did that. They have it up in their house on display and they have all the little thumbtacks. It's
yeah.
awesome.
Let me
It's really
pull
cool to see it.
my thing out here and I'll show you. I'll show everyone, but try not to make too much of a racket here. But yeah, there's my world map.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, so I every time I get somewhere that kind of doesn't sound familiar, whoop, let me turn that around first.
Look at the US. That's awesome.
Right, yeah. I think the only state in the US I haven't shipped to is Wyoming. So if you're in Wyoming and you want a pen,
Make Rich's dream come true.
right. I
Complete the map.
yeah, get every state. And then
Wyoming, that's interesting.
yeah, it's just wonder why they don't like me over there. But
You gotta maybe you just found the missing gap of the pen shows. Maybe they need a pen show in Wyoming.
there we go. What's I don't even know the cities in Wyoming, but yeah, we'll work something out. We'll get Joe to sponsor a show out there.
That's right. Joe can have 3 shows.
Yeah, get dressed up like a cowboy and
Head out to Wyoming.
yeah,
Yeah, the furthest we went last year was St. Louis, and that was brutal. I couldn't imagine Wyoming.
yeah,
Uh,
that would be a flight for me.
yeah, but
Um,
luckily St. Louis was completely worth it. That
yeah,
was quite exciting.
yeah,
Great
that's one
fun
I'd like to
show.
get back to. I did it one year, and that was the year I was laid off, so I was able to do more shows. But then when I got went back to work, I kind of had to pick the ones that I did best at and just stick with them.
Yeah.
And then
It's a lot. It's a big expense and it's a big time
yeah,
commitment to
that
do any of that.
yeah, that was almost I think with our stops, that was about a 12-hour drive for us. We
Yep.
didn't drive real hard though. We kind of, we stopped a few times, but
Yeah.
usually I drive pretty hard, just plow through it. But
Right.
That's
Yeah, but I'm excited. We'll have Baltimore. Right after Baltimore, I have Atlanta,
okay.
and have
Atlanta's a nice
Baltimore.
show. I've done that before. Same year the Sierras laid off. Um, that was 2022, I guess. I did it. And then, yeah, you'll have fun in Atlanta. You've been to Atlanta before, though.
Yeah, last year was
Mm.
my first year. I had a lot of fun.
So, if people don't know, Tony works at the for Joe at the Florida Fountain Pen table. Joe, Tony, and Ruben, um,
Yep.
as well as Joe and Angela, and occasionally a fifth, depending on the show.
Yeah, I was able to wrangle my friend Chanel for Orlando. Thank you, Chanel.
Right.
It was chaos, but it was fun chaos, I hope. I hope I didn't scare her off for this year.
Right. Hope she won't
When
be
she
answering any phone calls starting in like
right.
July.
When she tells me she's busy that weekend. No, I scared her off. And then
Um,
you have a new ink line out now.
I do. I we have when we came up with the first color in at the Ohio show. We had samples of it at the Triangle show last year, and just for people to try out. And we came up with the first actually bottled one in Ohio, and that is the brand is called Charlie's Private Label. As you probably all, a lot of you may know, Charlie is my dog and my mascot. I like to say, if you can't exploit your pets, what can you do? Um, but I put little labels on all of them at the top. That's actually a swatch of the ink from inside the batch. So if they do vary a little bit from batch to batch, you'll kind of see that. These are handmade by my friend Steven. He goes by Dr. White Mad Scientist on Instagram. He actually makes it, and he puts it into a large bottle for me, sends it up, and I do all the bottling and packaging. Ruben did my labeling as well as my stickers that I'm using now, and all my rickshaw cases that I have, my newer rickshaw cases that I have. He did all that graphic work for me. So if you need graphic work, Ruben is fantastic. And then so that color there is called Urban Ripple.
That I have to say that's my favorite.
Okay, and
That has been
then
my favorite.
I have it's like a really dark denim color or light black, depending on what you want to call it. It's like black with a little bit of blue tint to it. We call that cold barge. That's a little bit of a Pittsburgh connection because of our steel industry. All the coal barges would come up. They still do come up and down the rivers. Um, and then we have a turquoise color called, I don't know if I'm still getting a little bit of a reflection there, but tropical shores. We don't have any tropical shores here in Pittsburgh, but it reminded us of the beach. And then the last one, this is actually my favorite, which is really weird because I'm not a big fan of purple inks. But of the four, I really been using this one a lot. It's called Viva La Violet. Um, we are considering changing the bottle. Um, some of them, it seems like we get a few that they're hard to close once you open them the first time. So we don't want that. I really like the look of the bottle, and believe it or not, 1 ounce bottles are not really that common to buy in bulk. Yeah.
I can see
So
that.
a lot of them have like skinny necks, and I don't want a skinny neck. And a lot of them are tall. I don't want one that's tall that tips over. It's like the thing I like least about a lot of inks is the bottles are kind of top heavy when they're full, and you're dipping your pen into it, and I've not really really taken one out or anything yet, but I've been
Yeah.
close sometimes. So so I like the shorter bottles,
Yeah.
um, and so we're actually looking at this bottle here if anyone cares. Um,
Nice.
it's a little, like I said, it's not quite as cool shaped, but I think the ease of use is going to kind of outweigh that. Um, the So, but yeah, so I brought out the other 3 colors in Philly this year. So they were, they sold surprisingly well. Yeah, I was expecting to maybe sell about, 6 or 8 bottles of ink there, and it takes a little while to get traction sometimes with new stuff. So, and I sold quite a bit, so that was really good. Um,
That's awesome.
Red Rain says, "Woohoo for Ruben's graphic work." And Megan, she asked, "What pens are your current favorite?" And hers are the Lamy and the Kaweco Broad. I'm gonna have to say that mine are all River City pens, so they're my favorites, personally. And I hope yours are too, Tony. No, I'm just kidding. You're a lot more into a broader selection of pens than I am. I'm really almost all of my pens are either mine or ones my friends made. The different makers. So
That
my
makes sense.
go ahead.
So it's a little easier for you to, I'm sure, be like, "Here, take this pen, and I'll take one of yours."
But I bought some. I do
Yeah,
buy pens from them too, uh, on occasion. And so, like I said, almost everything I have is something from a custom maker.
that's awesome, though.
Yeah,
That makes it fun. Yeah, I have a crazy range now because now I have vintage,
you're
I
getting
have
into that too.
pen maker pens.
Yeah.
The one that I'll tell you, the one that surprised me the most was the Montverde MP1. For
Okay.
the price, and on Fountain Pen Day and Black Friday, they had it as low as $30. They normally come in about 60, 50, 60. I was shocked. And it's piston, it holds a lot of ink. That one surprised me the most. But I got two of your pens right before Ohio, and I've been using those constantly. I'm hoping I got a blue crazy fiber from you, and I'm hoping
Right.
I can get that ground maybe in Atlanta.
Okay.
I'm hoping. I gotta broad nib on that so I could get it ground. Don't know what I want it ground to, but definitely want it ground. Be fun.
Speaking of vintage pens, I uh, I got this here. This was given to me by my neighbor. They found it in their when she was cleaning out her grandfather's home.
Wow.
And she knew I was into fountain pens. This is like a 1930s era gold plated, they called it the wall
That
ladies
is
pen.
fantastic.
It's got the little thing on top so you can wear it through on the chain.
Wow.
And of course, the ink sac was damaged. They crack and dry out. So
Yeah.
Alina, who works with Mike at Mad Mercantile at the shows a lot. She also reps for Novel at some shows, but she repaired it for me and put a new ink
Incredible.
sac, took it apart, put a new ink sac in. It's kind of too small for me, so it doesn't get a lot of use. My
Oh,
hand is like,
dude,
you know,
if you want to ship it down here, Rich,
right?
I'll take it off your
You'll be
hands.
glad to take it, right?
I'll be
What
happy to.
the first thing I want to do is actually have her right with it, because
Yeah,
it was her grandfather's, and offer it to her. But if not, I may involve it in a giveaway at some point of some type.
there you go.
Because again, just because of the size of it, it's
Yeah,
not something I'm ever going to use. And I hate to just have something like that just sitting on my desk, just for
yeah,
the sake of it sitting on my desk.
yeah.
Um, and or and not getting rid of it. But so what other pen shows are you, Joe, and Ruben going to be at this year?
So many. We have Baltimore, Atlanta. Ruben and I are doing a little craft fest.
Right.
I did it last year. I had a blast, and I'm so excited. I
That's
can't wait
Houston,
to.
right?
Yeah, that's Houston, Texas. Can't wait to go back and check that out. And then I'm helping run with Ruben and Tiante and Steve and Joe. We have the first ever Florida Stationery Fest coming in May. I'm super excited about that. And then June, I believe, should be Triangle,
Hmm.
St. Louis. Um, Excited to go back to St. Louis, and then DC, Orlando Pen Show. So it's definitely a lot, Lot in
Yeah.
there. Ohio, I kinda snuck in at the last second last year, but I'm really hoping to get back to
Yeah, I remember you
Ohio
were,
this year.
trying to figure out the logistics of that one up
Yes.
really up until the last minute.
It was quite the marathon to try to figure that out, but it was completely worth it. Thank you to Alina and Mike Daigle. They were definitely huge champions, and Adolphus and Karita of Durrell's Pens, and thanks to everyone that helped me get out there because it was so worth it. I absolutely loved it, and I learned so much with vintage there,
Yeah.
and huge shout out to Matt Eichenfeld and Alina and Mike because they all are repairing pens for me. Matt just got me one back a little bit ago. I've been dragging my feet because 'cause I've had so many things going on, but look out for a video for that. Matt, like, completely rebuilt this pen. It's stunning what he did. I can't wait to show everyone what he did with that. He just resurrected from the dead to life. It's just beautiful. It looks like standard factory. So, I'm excited to bring that and start writing with that. It's just crazy.
Speaking of videos, you just, put out another video. Was it today or yesterday about the Ohio Pen Show? It was pretty recently.
Yeah, within the week, Ohio Pen Show came out. That's probably the longest video I put out there with the pen show. So that was we got a lot of great interviews and got to meet the Ohio Pen Club, and Dan uh, spoke about the American Pencil Collector Society that I am now a very proud member of with Bob Clark.
Okay.
Thank you to Dan
The
for I'm
lead
sure
holding member, huh?
I am. I have my card.
Nice.
I got everything. You make a pencil. I'm still designing a pencil and have to get those made. It's not easy to make a pencil.
No?
They're the no, it's like the minimum is 430 pencils I'm looking at.
Wow.
So,
You'll
but
well,
I
you'll
think
have enough to last you for a couple days.
I think that'll last a little bit. You're supposed to trade them with different members and try to
Okay.
collect as many as you can, but the Musgrave Pencil Company that has a huge history and they use beautiful cedar pencils, they apparently you can do custom orders with them, so I'm seeing if that's an option. I would absolutely love to be able to say, "Yeah, I have a Musgrave pencil." So, we'll see. All exciting things to come. Hopefully by St. Louis,
The
when a lot
things
of the
you
pencil collectors will be there, I'll have them.
the things you miss sitting behind a table all the time. I had no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just,
So
people are like, it probably took me about 4 pen shows working them to even realize that there were, like, workshops and stuff going on. Yeah,
just
you
thought
you just
people were
missed so much because
congregating in those rooms.
you're in your space and you're kinda like the only things you're focused on is, like, what time do I have to be there in the morning? I'm gonna get signed up, taking care of people during the day and, you know, and then once the day's over, where are we going for dinner and what's going on tonight? And you just that is just so far out there of things that you're focusing on that, like I said, I had no idea for like 3 or 4 shows that there's even like stuff like that happening.
I could see that. You
You know?
get so zoned in and
Yeah.
focused that
Yeah.
it's hard to see outside it, and that
Yeah.
there's, like, life going on around you.
Right.
And other things. Who sent the super chat? Is that Lorraine?
Thanks.
Aw, thank you, Lorraine, for the super chat. Yes, Barnes& and Noble buddies for life.
What's that?
We meet I have my friend Lorraine. Lorraine's watching with us.
Okay.
Her and I have, like, the best Barnes& and Noble hands down here. It is gorgeous, they redid it. I liked the older Barnes& and Noble, it was 2 stories, it was just
Yeah.
pretty because their cafe actually looked out, and even though it was a parking lot, you still got, like, natural light, but this Barnes& and Noble is gigantic, and they
Hmm.
made the cafe about 4 times the size it was. And
Nice.
they are super sweet, they're kinda into community, and they are excited to just see us sitting there and journaling. People will come up and ask us what we're doing and look at the pens we have out, and
Nice.
some people reminisce, or we'll start educating people about what fountain pens are, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that when you run into someone so rare, like in the wild, just to run into someone who knows anything about fountain pens.
It's
And
pretty crazy.
I was at work. The our I work for the county health department, and our plumbing division, their space, which kind of is just in the same building as ours, but a little bit over, getting renovated. So some of them have come into our office and are utilizing some of the empty desks that we have. And I was just talking to one of them, and I don't know how it even came up about fountain pens. And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh," he's like, because most people were like, "Well, is that even a thing anymore?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I used to have a couple fountain pens," and we just started talking about it. It was just really, it's just a bit of a shock when, like I said, someone that you just run into randomly and it's like has that same interest because
It
because it is so uncommon.
Yeah. It's amazing. I've worked in a couple cafes and people will be like, "Oh, a fountain pen." And one time it did scare me. They're like, "Oh, Visconti." I was like, You know that?
Right? Yeah,
You don't really come by, and I mean, actually, I think people understand why you might have an older pen, like a vintage pen,
yeah,
but a lot of people are blown away when I say pen maker pens.
yeah.
They're like, "What do you mean people make them and
Right.
sell them?" And that's what they do, and the shows too blow people minds. When
Yeah.
I was at a vinyl show last weekend, and they're like, "Oh, you gotta come back for June's show." And I was like, when is it in June?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll be in St. Louis." And they're like, "Why are you gonna be in St. Louis?" And I was like, "Well, you won't believe me, but a fountain pen show." And they're like, "They have those?" As I'm at a vinyl show.
I was gonna say, what is a vinyl show? Is that like
It's
records?
all vinyl records.
Okay,
I was
okay.
shocked to see CDs,
Yeah,
and cassettes. Some people had CDs, cassettes, books kinda peppered through, mainly about music, so that
yeah,
kinda still on theme. But it was kinda crazy.
yeah.
And it was like 20,000 square feet. It was like their international record
Oh,
show in Orlando. It
wow.
was incredible. I got some great vinyl for really cheap, dollar, $3, found CDs. I keep saying 2026 is gonna be the physical media year
Yeah,
because so many CDs I can't find or DVDs.
yeah,
And I don't wanna rely on streaming or have to keep renting it.
right.
So we'll see.
Gotta get yourself a good turntable and
Yes, I know we still need to replace ours. Ours got swept away with Hurricane Ian, so that will also be on the list this year.
we're getting a little off topic here, but
Incredibly
my
off
uh
topic.
my brother-in-law, he still has his my wife and his grandparents. They had one of those Victrolas. The
Mm,
big with the records are like that thick and you crank them
yes,
and it
yes.
works. It's and yeah, he has that still. It's like
My
it's one of those things he never uses it. It's like stored away in the house, but he like can't part with it type thing. But
my cousin has something like that, and it's gorgeous. He played it for me. The sound is crazy.
yeah,
The
and
quality that comes from it is just wild.
and those are like pieces of furniture. They're not like
No.
yeah, they're big and they're
Yes,
ornamental and
absolutely. Yeah. And then what other shows do you have coming up?
well, of course, as we mentioned, Baltimore's my next show, and then I don't do any from between then and Triangle in June. So we're going down to Triangle, and then after Triangle, I will do DC, San Francisco, Orlando, and then hopefully Empire and then Ohio.
Nice.
So
That's a
yeah,
good roundup.
yeah, this the DC, San Francisco, and Orlando is like that's rough. That's just kind of like they're all
Good
back to back,
turnarounds. Yeah.
and they're like there's I think there's 2 weekends off between DC and San Francisco, and then there's 1 weekend off between San Francisco and Orlando, I think. Kind of lose
A lot
track
of
of that,
shopping.
but it's just that's all I do then is go to pen shows and make pens. I do nothing else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
people,
like
people say, "Hey, what
DC.
are you doing in No, no, August, not
Yeah, it's
available." Right,
they're very, very close this year because you have DC, Miami, San Francisco, Orlando, all
right.
kind of lined up there.
Yeah, Miami changed weekends, didn't they?
They did because FIFA's coming in.
Oh,
So
okay,
that
that's why.
yeah, it's
They've
gonna
not
be
had a good lot of luck with finding a good weekend.
yeah, it's gonna
They've
be
been,
overrun with people.
yeah.
So it's
Maybe they
probably
like
good.
pens.
Yeah. Luckily they moved. That would have been you would have probably had the completely different people there.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm excited for all of those. Miami was fun last year. And I even got 2 workshops in, which was a lot of fun.
good.
And I got Nick Peng's workshop in Ohio, which I had been dreaming of for forever, so I
Yeah,
was happy to get that in as well. It's always fun doing workshops.
you got to start thinking about putting one on, maybe.
Oh, that'd be fun. I don't know
Yeah,
what we do, but
I don't know.
I'm hoping I'm gonna have a zine out for Baltimore,
Yeah,
a pen theme zine. Do you know what a zine is?
I don't know. I'm an
It
old guy. Come
is
on.
like a handmade or cheaply made magazine.
Oh, okay,
So it's kinda like you put the magazine together yourself.
okay,
But they range, like, I've seen people bring full on books that they publish themselves to
okay.
different zine events and
So
but
yeah, the zine kind of connected here now. So
yeah. So hopefully I'll have that out for Baltimore. But I can't wait to see Lauren's stuff. I loved what you guys did last year, and usually she does some ink releases as well, right?
she does some. They're not a yearly thing. I think she has 5 inks now or 4.
I got 2 last year. I
Okay.
absolutely love them.
I
The
have
Sheen and
3
Shimmer.
of them, yeah. I have the Lucky Star 1 and Lucky Star 2, and then I have the pink one. Is that Lucky Galaxy? See if I have it in my drawer here.
They are beautiful. I love those inks. I think I've kept both of them in pens ever since I had them from Baltimore when I got them.
Yeah, here it is. It's, called Lucky Galaxy.
Yeah, that is just beautiful.
The
That is beautiful. And then you have a question. Will is asking, how many pens do you try to make per show?
um, my attempt is usually I do my pens, and I make them in with both Bach and Yobo nibs, and so I try to have between 7 to 10 of each nib of each model. So, like, 15 to 20 of each model with the equal amounts roughly of Bach and Yobos, and then I'd like to have 10 to 20 Operex pens. I'd like to have probably about 60 to 80 nib holders amongst my 3 different sizes. And then, just some miscellaneous stuff that I have that were, some of the crazy fiber stuff I started making. I'll have a handful of those. And so it probably ranges in the neighborhood of about 200 and some pieces, between 2 to 300. Um, and then obviously, you don't come close to selling all that, but my mom, it's it's kind of like, you have to have the one when the person comes by. So if you have 10 pens, you're only going to sell a certain amount of those, and so the more you have, the more chance you have of selling one, of course. So like I said, I use I take I have 2 tables, and I fill them up pretty well, mostly with pens, and then some peripheral stuff, like my ink, my different rickshaw cases that I have. I'll have sometimes I have the little wooden pen rest with that hold the sample bottle. These are really nice, like with your Kakamori nibs. I don't sell these online or anything just because it's just it's cost prohibitive, just shipping them and everything, because the shipping so much on the item that it's just sort of like I just sell them at the shows. But with your kakimori, you just lay it on there, and that way you then you dip, and he changes and stuff. So they're really convenient for that. But those are the show only item. I have some wooden pen trays. If I have room to bring them, I'll bring them. Like larger. Actually, I have one on my desk here. Um, Again,
That's a
these are
great
only
idea
kind
for
of
the kakamori.
like these type of pen trays.
Yeah,
I have some of those from time to time. Again, those type of things aren't consistent on my table. It's like if I could get some made, like I don't make those. I have a friend that makes those. I don't have time to make stuff like that. I'm just not set up for it. I would have
yeah.
to like totally rearrange my shop. Um, so I have a friend that makes those for me, and so if I have time to get to him and he has time to make them, I'll have some at the shows. But
That's
but
awesome. And then you don't have anything Megan's asking if they can see something you made and kept that you really like.
what I made, and yeah, I got some things here. Um, these are some of my personal pens. That some of the two that I almost always have with me. Um, this is the first pen that I ever made that worked. So this is River City number one. It's the original diamond cast copper line color. They've since changed the colors in their copper lines slightly. Um, I broke the piece for the section, so I just made a white section for it. But this is almost always with me. They said that's the first one I've ever made. And this other one is, I hope I don't kind of choke up here. Um, a lot of Greg Hardy, who's a owned Hardy Penwrights. His son Gavin runs the business now. Good friend of mine. When I lost my job, he invited me up to his place. And while we were there, Tim Crow lives nearby him from Turn Pen Company. And Tim poured these blanks. And this is one of Greg's designs. But me, Greg, Tim, and Gavin all turned certain sections, parts of it. So we all like I forget who did each part, but they so we made 8 of them, and we each kept one, and then we each gave one away during the course of the year, and to a younger person at a pen show. So that's kind of a really sentimental pen to me. um, I unfortunately was not able to get a pen that Greg made while he was still around. So that's the closest I got to it, and so that's almost always with me. Um, as far as the pens I really like to use, I do like the bigger pens. This is my extra long Arlington model. Uh, most of the pens you see are 13 millimeter threads on the cap. I think Zodiac Pen Company uses 14s most of the time, but this is a 15 millimeter. So it's a wider pen, and it's a very long pen too. So with my big hands, it works really well. And you still with us, Tony? I saw you cut off the screen there. Am I the only one here?
There
Oh,
we
there's
go.
Tony. Okay.
I could hear you.
Okay, so I
I
was
couldn't
still
move.
on then. Yeah, I just you went away, and I was like, maybe Ruben did something just to
It
get the one camera bigger, and
my
but
my phone said it was time for a break and just shut me out. So technology working at its best.
yeah.
Because when we tested that, it didn't do that.
So
Uh,
so how far did I get? Do you want me to go over those again, or are we
I could
good
hear
here?
you. I just couldn't move.
Okay,
We were just scrambling to get back on. Well, thank you for sharing that. And then also, Lorraine said she's super excited to see you at the Orlando Pen Show. She looked on your website and several caught her eye.
good, good.
I
And
I need to stay off your website because I get into trouble.
We need more people to visit my website. That's rivercitypencompany.com.
Start a train of going to Rich's website. Did you sell that mermaid pen? Did you find is it finally gone?
I don't know if I did or not. That pen gets picked up a lot.
It does.
Let me
There's a
see if it's
pen of
still on there.
Rich's that
Uh,
haunts me that I should have bought about 7 times, and I
let's see
don't have it.
if it's
I
still
couldn't.
there. Should I just send you the invoice tonight?
Oh my. Wait, Ruben, leave the room. And there's Chanel. Hey, Chanel. I didn't scare you.
That was the Shady Side model, right?
Yes. And Veronica. Hi, Veronica. I can't wait to see you in Baltimore either. I can't wait for Baltimore. I can't wait to kick off the pen show season. It should be a blast. Baltimore was a blast last year. It'll be so much fun.
Let me see here. No, that one's still there. You want me to show it to everyone so maybe someone will buy it and make you
There you
sad?
go. Put me out of my misery. Post it on the screen. It's a beautiful pen, and I love the glitter. And your Operex, but I have one of your Operexes.
Yeah,
I
you have an
absolutely love it.
Operex.
Yep,
What
absolutely
what are
love it.
you asking, Megan? I think I'm says, can I see rich blue inks? The light one caught my eye.
Oh, here, I can do.
Oh, you
So
mean want to see sample? Or
this is Tropical Shores, and this is the White Traveler's paper and the Midori cream. And then be the violet, also the cream and the white. And then whole barge. And then urban ripple. And then I'm using this incredible swatch kit from Danielle at Happiness Handmade to do my swatches. And this is my ink journal for 2026. I'm incredibly excited. Can you tell?
that's something as try as I might, I cannot
You can't.
commit to a journal. I just,
No?
I'll do it for a little bit and then it just
Yeah, but you got travelers. You were kind of taking notes.
well, I have one. That's purely all it is. It's just notes for like my pen shows, like did I book my hotel room? Did I book my flight? That kind of stuff.
But
But it's
that's
not
something.
really
That's
it's a
something though.
list, but that's about all I could really seem to commit to. And I'm not even good at that because I always am like, oh, I thought I booked that, and I got to go through all my emails and find it and write it in my book.
It's just baby steps, baby steps. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Chanel, for the super chat. That is so cute. I love the animation.
And then, so what else is happening in the pen world? You're going
Ruben
to be
Ruben
doing a
got
big you got many more like videos coming up that we should be expecting or anything you could talk about? I know some of the stuff is kind of obviously not something you can't talk about at certain points, but
right.
anything you
Well,
can just
we Baltimore will be out. Hopefully, Baltimore Hall after that. Atlanta
okay.
Pen Show will be out. Atlanta Hall. And then I did an incredible collaboration with YS Notes. That's up on my channel right now. They are stunning greeting cards from an incredible company. There's so much detail. It takes fountain pen ink. So that video is out now. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. The cards are beautiful, and I'm going to start sending them. I'm hoping in Baltimore. A lot of the pen shows this year, I sent postcards to friends, and it was such a fun thing to do, and people really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping to continue that this year. And then YS Notes has this incredible card where it's multiple pages, so you could go back and forth a couple times with it. So I'm hoping to send that to a few friends and get those started at Baltimore.
Good.
And I didn't Judith Dollar, Dave and
Yeah.
Judith, she taught me that there is such a thing as a postcard stamp. So she saved me a lot of money with that. that I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
know.
right, yeah, there is, yep.
Yeah, I didn't know. My one post office I always go to never get them in. I had to go somewhere else to go get them, but
Hmm.
they're
Is it
awesome.
something you could order off their website and have them
It
delivered
it
to your
might
house?
be. It might be. That'd probably be
Like,
the
that's how
easiest
I get
thing.
some of my packaging. So, like, most of the stuff I just pick up when I'm at the post office, but
Yeah,
there's certain packages that they provide that aren't in the post offices, so I get those delivered. So maybe because I know you could order stamps generally off them, so I couldn't see why I
yeah,
couldn't do a post because they don't come from your local post office. You know, they kind of get sent to you through the mail,
yeah.
and your so delivery person will bring them to the house with your rest of your mail.
That'd be perfect. Yeah, I'll
But
have to look into it because I'm quite low, but it only covers like this standard 4x6 postcards. Anything larger needs more. So yeah,
yeah,
that would probably be better cost wise to just get them online, get them in bulk. And then
yeah,
Will said, "What is Baltimore show like? I've only ever been to DC show." Well, DC will set you up nicely to pretty much prepare you for any show, I feel like. That is
uh,
a massive show, but I was actually shocked last year when I went to Baltimore how large it is.
yeah.
It
It's
was a
not a
big
small show.
ballroom. No.
It's
And
definitely
the
not the size of
hallway.
DC, but
Yeah.
and it's a very high energy show.
Yeah.
It's not a laid back show by any means.
No.
It is a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. Yeah, it goes by fast. At least
Yep.
from my side of the table. Um,
And I have my video from last year you could check out, well, if you haven't already. Um, and then at DC, we were able to fly a drone inside the ballroom, which
yeah,
I think
I
gave
remember
the
that.
greatest the greatest way to show off the ballroom and how large. It's crazy that you don't know how large these things are until you're really there in
Yeah,
person to
and then
compare.
as you see, they also have three other rooms plus the foyer, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, and a basement
Yeah, well, that was
in
one of the
DC.
rooms. Yeah,
Yeah, that was really wild at DC,
yeah,
but yeah, Baltimore's a big show. It was a lot of fun. Definitely a ton of vendors.
yeah. As
I didn't
far
even
as
check the roster for classes for that one because I just knew I was working, I couldn't do any, but
yeah, I think as far as like square footage, number of vendors, I think DC is probably the largest.
yeah.
I think San Francisco is busier. It's a little bit smaller, but it's
Is San Francisco
crazy.
about the size of Baltimore or no?
Um,
A little
Bigger,
smaller?
I believe,
Bigger?
but it's just it's really crowded in there and really busy. So if you don't, um, plan your time like early and late if you're kind of like anxious around people, a lot of people, because it does fill up. But I mean, everyone's respectful and everything, so it's not like you're getting pushed around by any means. But there's a lot of people get in there.
Yeah, and Sunday seems to be the least busy as a rule. So
Which
maybe
one?
even Sunday, just in general, seems
Yeah,
to be the least
definitely.
busy. So if you want a little quieter time of going around and things, go on a Sunday.
Right. Or if you're able to do a weekend pass, just get in there early
Yeah,
with your early admission.
true.
And it's a lot more casual then. All the shows are during that
Yeah,
time. You may experience that some of the vendors are still not set up, yet for the day because especially on like day 2 and 3, it's we kind of try to come down as late as possible and get set up for the show.
yeah.
But but yeah, those early mornings are a lot less stressful for everyone.
And Bertram's Inkwell is the one that hosts Baltimore, and he has his shop open. His shop was open Monday, and we got to go check that out. That was a fun shop to go in, and he had small things that I had been looking for, and they were out of stock online. I walked into his shop, they had them right there.
Hmm.
So that was a lot of fun to find. And then How long does it usually take to edit one of my videos of the different shows? You do a great job with them. That's all Ruben. I actually shot Ohio and it was a nightmare. I can shoot if I am forced to. Editing is a very slow crawl. I'm sure at this some point this year I'm gonna have to edit, but Ruben does an incredible job editing. It can take anywhere from 50, 60, 80 hours to edit. It really does take that much time. We shoot a lot of footage. It's 3 days. It's pretty packed. In Ohio, I did a ton of interviews. So that took even more time to edit it all down, but it definitely takes a lot of work. And also for Ohio, I started putting the name of the vendors in the video. So once Ruben was done editing and putting together the video, I had to then go back and look at each vendor and then list it out and put the time code. So yes, it's quite time consuming. But definitely a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what we do at the pen shows and stationery fest this year. It's really exciting.
Well, then we have a question here. Someone just found your channel and has been enjoying the tours, new to fountain pens, but having fun learning. Any
Yay.
tips for getting the most of attending your first show and meeting vendors?
Oh boy. Well, I think I want to do a Pen Show 101 video. Hopefully, I'll get that out soon. But there's so much. Kind of know what you want if you want a pen maker pen. Maybe even just check their Instagrams. I did that for Little Craft Fest, and I was really excited because I think they had 140 vendors or something insane, and you can't get everything. So it's good to know what you're kind of looking for to begin with. And then just give yourself as much time as you can. I know some people can only do a day or half a day, but the more time, the better. You just won't be rushed. And you could actually talk with the vendors and you could ask Rich questions. And if he's busy, you could circle back around because sometimes you'll have to do that with vendors. They'll just be packed with people. So that's what I would definitely say. And bring snacks and water.
And comfortable shoes.
Yes.
You will be on your feet a lot.
And a
Um,
jacket because some of those rooms are freezing.
yeah. If you're traveling to the show, I always recommend that you stay at the show hotel because if you've had enough and you want to go take a little break, you could just escape to your room for 10 minutes, 2 hours, whatever you need. But then you don't have to drive all the way back and find a parking spot and walk, and all that that's involved with staying at a different hotel.
Yeah.
Um, and walk around and get a good look at everything. Try to at least, unless there's stuff that you say, I definitely want this and I'm going to get that. If there's something that's a must have, get it as soon as you get there.
Yeah.
But if you're just looking around and you want to see what's all there, it's very easy to get caught up in like, oh, that's nice. And and buying it. And then
Yeah.
by the time you get to like,
I
halfway
mean,
through, you're out of money and there's all these other things you might like more or less, or,
yeah.
you know, so take the time if you have it, get what you need, what you must have first, and then just walk around and look at everything, take things in.
I fell victim to that in Atlanta last year.
Yeah,
The show wasn't even open yet, and I bought a penmaker pen because it was the only one he had
that
in that
surprises me
only
with you.
color. It's shocking. But you know what? When I can't remember what show it was, but there was a man with both hands in his pockets, shoved in his pockets, close to his arms are close to his body, and I was like, "Do you wanna hold the pen? You wanna just try touching it?" He's like, "No, no. I do this, and I do this 1 lap, maybe a lap and a half, and then I take them out of my pockets." And I was like, "That's a great if you had that self-control, that's fantastic. I do not, but if you have it, that's fantastic." That's a good way of doing it, but that is usually not how I operate at a pen show.
Yeah, it's a little
Go
easier for me to not overspend because I can't get
Yeah,
out, but that's
true. Is there something that you gravitate towards, though, at a pen show? Is there a specific pen or something that you're looking for?
generally no. If I'm buying stuff, it's usually not at the shows. It's it's just my I go in obviously with a different focus, you know.
Yeah,
I'm there to work,
right.
and to make contacts with people, not
Yeah.
to shop. I'm not
And you
saying I've
wanna
never
go
bought
home with
anything at a
money.
show. You know, I have, but it's when I do walk around, it's usually very, very rushed because I need to get back to my table. So it might just be running over to check out my friend's table or see a particular item that I saw, or you know, there's certain people I always want to make sure I see at the shows. That and if they're not near me, I kind of try to get over there and do that. But I don't. It's like I said, it's just a different mindset. You know, I'm not going
Right.
in with the collector customer mindset.
And you actually end up with money at the end of a pen show,
Right.
unlike some of us.
Right. Like, thank
But
you, Tony.
networking's great for pen shows.
What's that?
Networking's great at pen
Oh,
shows.
yeah, like
That's
we talked about earlier. That's where I met, you know, Lauren Elliott. We've done multiple things together. You know, that's where I met Tori with Stationery Universe. We've done nib holders and pens with her. So I use it a lot for that. Try to, you know, get collaborations and stuff like and such. And but to meet your customers, to put a, you know, uh, you know, you have your Instagram and you have your online sales and you see names and stuff, but you just don't make the connection
right,
a lot of times. But like actually seeing someone at a show, then you remember them more, you know.
right.
Um, but and so making those type of connections is always just not even I don't want to say important from a business standpoint, but just important from a personal standpoint to actually, you know, meet the people that are supporting you. And you know, because I know I say this a lot, but it's just, you know, I'm just floored sometimes by the support that people give me. You know, I'm just yeah, I came into this as a knowing very little about pens. I just love making stuff, and I learned how to make pens, and like everyone just like open arms, you know. And it's just like, to me, that's just like I would like I feel like an outsider sometimes still, because you know, everyone talks about the pens, and some of the times it just gets like, wow, that's like way above my pay grade. You know, I just spin little rods and make them round, and
It is an incredibly welcoming and kind community.
yeah,
I learned that very, very quick. People were so generous, so nice, so quick to be like, "Here, I'll show you how to write like this," or "I'll show you how to write with this pen," or "Oh, you never wrote with that pen. Here, come, I'll show it to you." So,
right.
it's
And that's
always
really
nice
nice,
to see
especially
that.
with like the vintage people. They all almost all are have pens inked or will ink their pens for you.
Yep,
And that's something I don't personally don't do at the shows, is having pens, mostly because you know their pens are you know, it has that nib and that's it. You know, like
right,
mine, like if I had nibs in all my pens, and you know the one that you decided you wanted has a fine nib in it, well, you know, I'm if I don't have a nib in it, I'm happy to give you any nib size you want. But if it's in there and it's inked, then I gotta take the converter out, take the inked up nib out, you know, it's just it would be a mess,
yeah,
and, I'd have ink everywhere, and
yes,
so usually it's more of just, you know, I'll put a nib in it and let you look at it and, you know, just, you know, write on the paper with no ink. But, you know, I personally don't, ink my pens for people at the shows, and it's just sort of, I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's how I do it.
right. Well, yeah, that would it gets crazy, especially when it gets busy. It's definitely not easy. And it's nice that you have all the options though,
Yeah.
and standard sizes, but I mean, why even waste time? Just go with a 1.1 stub and just call it a day, you know? That's what and it now can if someone bought a pen from you and they got a broad nib on it, can they also buy a stub or extra fine?
Yeah, I will if you buy a pen from I don't just sell nibs like, you know, on my website or anything like that. But if you do buy a pen from me, I will sell you like a second nib with it. Usually at a little bit less than you can get it, you know, from one of the, you know, online sources, of course, but yeah, I will sell them, but it's not like you can't log onto my website and buy a nib. But if
Right.
you're at the show, or if you're going to buy a pen, and obviously, um, it would make it a little bit slower process. But if you saw something on the website and you wanted to buy it but wanted another nib, there's a contact me button on my website. I'm pretty quick with replying to those types of emails. Um, and I could send you an invoice for the pen you want with an additional nib. I do it that way. Or if I'm custom making something for you at some point and you want 2 or 3 or nibs. And the nice thing is, you can switch them out easily. And if you have, most of us are either using the Bach 250 nib or the number 6 Yobo nibs in our. There's a few people that will use the Schmitz, but not too many. Um, but if you have like a pen from someone else and the pen from me, and they have different nibs, and you just say, oh, I really wanted that nib, and then you could, it's easy enough just to switch them too, and not having to buy another nib. um,
I love how
but
easy
then
that
see
is
where
to
there's times that, yeah, you could just
yeah.
mix and match between them. Now, of course, if it's an engraved nib that goes with a pen, I get that you don't want to, you want to keep it with the pen. So but I'll definitely, yeah, sell additional nibs.
Yeah.
um,
I like how easily they could be switched out. That's always nice.
and someone said that they don't know how they made it in here, but they just bought their first fountain pen. So, well,
Yay!
congratulations, and
One
brace
of us.
yourself.
One of us. It's definitely a very fun rabbit hole to go down. Expensive. Some would say time consuming, but definitely worth it.
Yeah,
And I love every time I'm writing with fountain pens letters or something, people are just amazed. But it does help my handwriting as well. That's the easiest thing too.
yeah,
Definitely helps with that. Mm, that's perfect. Where's fountain pen? I do like the Kaweikos and the Lamis, but a penmaker pen is just as easy to get started with. It's
yeah,
a it's a short jump with just going straight to that.
right,
But I love how different they all are and how you could do a custom order. Or maybe you're doing a short run of Crazy Fiber or Operex and you're designing it. So
right,
it is a piece of art, but it's functional art.
right.
Definitely a lot of fun. I definitely have way too many pens. I'm not gonna say how many pens I have, but I don't. When people ask me, I haven't counted. So
Right.
no news is good news. Just get buy what you like. That's also what I would tell people.
Yeah, the writer's blood is it's a nice color. Yeah, that's a good choice. If you like the writer's blood, another nice red by Diamine is my personal favorite Diamine red is the Red Dragon. And that's a nice. But just commenting on the one comment about buying the platinum and having some Diamine writer's blood coming tomorrow. Um,
I love the writer's blood. Ox blood is really good too.
I've not
And
seen that one.
yeah, the ox blood is really nice. It's a deeper red.
More like a burgundy type.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Monaco red, I think it is. That one's
Okay.
really nice too.
Yeah, Diamine makes some really nice inks.
Yeah,
They're consistent. They're not. They're
they are.
just. They're good solid inks.
Yep.
I'm not into the shimmers and the sheens personally. I just kind of like a more. I have some and I use them occasionally, but I'm more just into just a solid color with maybe a little bit of shading. But that's kind of my personal thing. But
The
that was
Robert
kind of one of the things
Oasters.
I really wanted to go with when me and Steven started making inks, is just because there's not really a lot of that um, anymore. It's just, I mean, there's the older ones that you are still around, your Watermans and your and such, but I figured we tried to kind of get back to that, at least with my inks, because that's my thing.
Yeah.
And we also they're all the pH, they're all pretty much pH neutral, all of them. So they're between like 6.8 and 7.3, with with seven being neutral. So they shouldn't have any problems in any pens that you put them into. Um, so it's a nice safe ink. And so he's I couldn't have done any of the stuff that he did. Like a real scientist. That's his, his occupation is in research and development in
That's a good friend to
pharmaceuticals.
have.
Yeah,
That's a
especially
good
if you want to
business
make ink.
partner.
So, but
The Urban Ripple has a gorgeous shading quality to it.
yeah,
That one was really, really beautiful. Even the Coal Barge shades really well.
yeah. Someone was asking about the colors too, and you showed your samples while you were doing that. I just wrote a couple lines with them. So that's they're obviously different nib sizes, but those are the colors there too. If you wanted another comparison, but we've really been going along here. We were kind
We
of
are.
our last live was, we said 17 minutes, and we, of course, we weren't
That's right.
answering any questions at that time either. We
That's
weren't
right.
really set up for that. Um,
But yeah. Anything else you want to add, Rich?
um, I don't think so.
And then what shades of ink do you usually write with? Which inks do you hope to make in the future, Rich?
As far as future inks, there's only one more that I really want to do. Actually, maybe two. Is I don't want to get into a big ink manufacturing thing, so that's not my goal here. I just thought it'd be neat to have a few inks. So I'm not aspiring to be like a Birmingham that has, dozens of colors. That's their thing. It's not my thing. Um, I do want to get a red, because I absolutely love red inks, and I want to get a green. Actually, the Tropical Shores was, when we ordered the pigments for it, we thought it was going to be like a darker green, and it wasn't. But I liked it a lot anyway, so we're like, yeah, we're keeping that one anyway. So it was a pleasant mistake. So, but because I
Some of the
am into
best.
the the teal turquoise color inks too. But I would say I almost always have a blue ink with me, and when we get into other colors, I generally gravitate to like a very red, like the red dragon, and or a emerald green, like kind of the one of my favorites there is the Andrelium spirula green. That's the kind of green I really like. So those are the ones I gravitate towards. So how about you, Tony?
They have some beautiful colors. I've been on a huge red kick.
Yeah,
I have some grays, the Curacao that's discontinued now, but I'm trying to find some gray similar to that. And then blues. I have a ton of blues. I have your Urban Ripple. I have that Coal Barge that's like a bluish gray, so it fills
yeah,
both. And then Oxford Blue by Diamine.
yeah,
Wind by Robert Oster is stunning. That shades really well. So, blues and reds have been a huge kick, and some purples too.
yeah.
Um, Tori did a Pannomia run of purple and blue that I
Right.
really
Yeah,
love.
yeah.
Those are really pretty inks. Sometimes they can be drier. I'm putting them in a stub or a broad, so I don't really
Okay.
have that issue with them. But they shade really nicely, and yeah, that seems to be purple, blue, red.
Yeah, the blue I would go to the most was the just your Serenity blue Waterman.
Yep.
Um, but have other blues. My my favorite, like teal color is the it was it was a Triangle Pen Shows showing the first year coming out of COVID. Uh, Paper Pollutant made it, and it was called
Ooh.
Carolina on My Mind, and it's just a gorgeous. teal color. Um, and that's probably that was that was probably the first teal ink I owned, and that's what kind of got me hooked on that kind of color tone. And but that one's still kind of like the one that I would go back to the most.
Now I have to see
Um,
what that ink looks like. I have not seen that color.
I don't know if I have a nib here that I can sample it. I got all my inks in my drawer here. Let me. This is the bottle. Whoop, with my monitor. Um,
Oh, beautiful.
so let me find. You know what, let me grab one of my Kakamori's out of my. I'm gonna just stand up here and walk
Okay.
across my office for a minute.
Well, I'll have to look up that Robert Oster. I'm not familiar with that one. That sounds really interesting. And then I got the Lamy Dark Lilac, but Writer's Blood called out to me. Yeah, the Writer's Blood is really pretty. Purchased that marble red one. Yeah, matchy matchy scene. I wasn't really matchy matchy, and then I just started doing it, and now I can't break the cycle. Now I have to match my ink with my pens. It's not maybe I'll be able to break that. But it is nice to have the matching ink. Thank you all for being here. Been a nice first live stream of 2026. Leave your wallet at home, Ruben's saying. Oh, that's really pretty.
Obviously, that's not something you could get anymore. But
No, that's really nice though. I got to go to Papier Plume last year too. Their store is so cute. It's
yeah,
right right in the heart of New Orleans. It was definitely fun. I hope we hit it actually on the way back from Houston, so I hope we can do it. We had 2 hours. Parking was like 15 or $20 an hour and 2-hour minimum or something. It was 40. It was quite outrageous, and we had 2 hours to go to Papier Plume. We hit up Café du Monde and then ran back to the car before it was towed, but it was definitely worth running like mad,
yeah.
and got to meet Patrick, the owner of Papier Plume, and get a few goodies there. Is definitely a store to visit.
So we have some people talking about matching their inks to their pens.
Yes.
Are you a matcher?
Yeah, I didn't start out that way, but now I just have to.
Okay, I'm not.
No?
No, I just whatever I feel like writing with goes in whatever pen I feel like writing with. I'm not a matcher. Um, the Someone was mentioning about just getting into papers too. Like, what are your favorite papers?
I really like the Midori papers.
Yeah,
I like the Maruman. I never can say it, the Minison paper,
yeah,
that's really pretty. Clairefontaine, I really like.
that's my
Rhodia.
favorite.
Yeah, Clairefontaine and Rhodia have been
Claire
diehard
Fontaine's like
fans.
writing on glass.
Yeah,
It's just so smooth. It's
yeah,
kind of I like it, but it's also like there's like no feedback at all, and it's so
right.
like it's so it's weird, you know.
Yeah, some people
It's
like it.
but yeah,
Same with the some of the Midori's.
yeah.
People either like that or they want a little bit of feedback or a little bit of tooth to the paper.
But I see it.
But
I get a little bit out of the Midori, I think, or at
yeah,
least more than the Claire Fontaine.
yeah.
Um, but I don't even know what this paper is. Uh, Tom with Sugar Turtle Studios. This is his
Oh,
notebook,
that's
and
great. I love the color.
I don't know what paper it is, but it's really nice. I take these to the pen shows to kind of put my notes and stuff for the show and keep track of what I sell and everything too. Even though the stuff that I sell comes off of my website, supposed to come off my website automatically every once in a while something doesn't. So I
Yeah,
like to be able to go through afterwards and and check to make sure things were removed. Because the worst thing is like sending an email out to someone said, yeah, that's sold at the pen show. 'Cause it's, it's like you feel like you're like just disappointing people.
right. Yeah, I know I won't say who, but a couple people told me that happened to them, and then they had to match it, and that I
Oh,
don't know.
you'll
I would
never.
just yeah, I would just go under a rock, I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
It's a miracle that you guys can make stuff to begin with, but then to have to match it, I don't.
right. Yes, someone. I apologize. I'm not sure how you pronounce your name, but saying that you're about 2 hours away from any specialty store, and yeah, I think there's one little stationery store in Pittsburgh, but I've never been there. I heard there's not a whole lot there. It's called Scribe, um, but there's nothing around me either. Everything I get is either at a pen show or online. Um, I'm pretty good friends with the people from Federalist, um, and I get a sorry, I dropped something there. Um, so I talk to Frank about like he gives me a lot of good advice when I'm looking for something and can't get it. Um, but between them, Joe at Florida Fountain Pen, Kirk at Pen Realm, and the Chris and Carrie with True Fay, they all seem to be my consultants with when I need something, and between the four of them, one of them usually is able to help me out.
Those are pretty,
Kirk's more pens, so he doesn't
yeah,
get a lot into the papers and stuff. So and I don't buy a lot of modern pens, so I don't do a lot of business with Kirk, but I do business to business stuff with Kirk though, a lot. Um, for it's with his with his Bach nibs and stuff that he sells. But Joe, the Federalist crew, and the True Fake crew, they all help me a lot with what I tell them kind of what I'm looking for, and they give me some good advice. So they're sort of the ones are my go tos. And that's mostly just because I know them better. But there's always there's not too many people out there in this business that are just in it to, you know, just to sell. They're into the hobby, and
yeah,
they use their products, and they sell their products because they use them and they like them.
yep.
They get something in and they don't like it, they don't get it in usually again. But so
Yeah,
that's where.
Federalist has some good paper.
Did you freeze up again? I think your camera froze again, Tony. I don't know if you can hear me. Yeah, I think we lost her. Do you hear me still? I think she'll be back. Oh, there you are.
About that. My phone
Oh,
keeps trying to
nice.
make me go to sleep.
What's weird is that you're getting kicked off. Oh, you froze again. It's weird that because she's the host here and she's getting kicked off, but somehow I'm still on. That's like really weird. Technology at its finest. Um,
There we go.
there we go again.
My phone's trying to put me to sleep.
Were you able to hear me, Tony?
No.
Okay. I don't know if anyone heard me. I was just kind of sitting here talking a little bit, but it was weird that the last time, the first time that you kind of got kicked off, but you as the host, and that I was still on. That's just like, how's that even work?
I don't know, and we tested this yesterday, didn't get
No
any of
problem.
this.
Yeah, we went a good hour yesterday, no issues.
Yep.
Um, oh, you did hear me? Good. Okay, well, at least I wasn't
Yay,
talking to myself.
someone was heard. I was mentioning that Frank with Federalist, there's I think I wanna say it's a German brand. I'll post a photo of it on my Instagram if you guys wanna check that, or I will post it in the community notes here. That's probably the easiest on YouTube. And it's all dot grid, which I'm trying to break into dot grid. Usually I'm like lined or blank, but that paper is really nice for fountain pens. And Frank also started carrying Lockbee, and I didn't realize that Lockbee's little pocket notebooks are Tomo River.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so I've been putting that in like the Lockbee covers or my Lincoln leather covers, and I've been really liking those.
Interesting.
That's been
Yeah,
really nice paper.
I I've not done anything with the lock bees though. I'm a kind of I can't do blank pages when just because my writing will start going like this at an angle. So I either I get a lot of the dot grid and or
See, and
lined.
I can't do dot grid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just the dots just I don't know if it's
I'm
my
not
astigmatism or
I don't
something,
like
they just
get
start dancing.
hyperfixated on them, I don't I'm
Yeah,
not worried about being perfectly, the same size but it kind of gives me at least a
a
guidepost
guide.
to go across for my bottom.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, so it works well for me. The well, it is 10 o'clock here, so
it
I'm thinking
is.
we may just want to wrap it up.
Yep.
Does anyone have any one last closing question we could answer for anyone, or
Any last minute questions?
Tony's IT guy will look into it?
He better.
Whoever said that. Tech
He
support.
better. My phone keeps trying to put me to sleep. No, that's not the lineup, Ruben. That is totally not the lineup. We know it's lined blank grid dot.
See, I don't like the grid, like the graph type
Yeah,
squares. No, I can't do that.
you can't do it?
Nah, I'm not a fan. Uh,
It was great to meet you. I'm gonna try to pronounce. I am Kaitero. Did I say that right? It was great meeting you. It was great hanging out with everyone. Thank you, Rich.
yeah, thanks everyone for coming. It went a lot longer than I thought it was going to, and it was a lot of fun. So we're gonna, like Tony said, we're gonna do this again in Baltimore.
Yes,
Um, I we're gonna kind of probably try to alternate a little bit who's hosts and who doesn't, so we can. I do not have enough followers right now to on YouTube to to do a live, especially remotely, because I'm kind of even though I've had a YouTube forever, I've only really started using it in the last few months. So it'll probably be from my Instagram live. So if you're not on Instagram, come over and follow me there at River City Pen Company and was it underscore FYC
yeah, FYC underscore
underscore
Tony.
right.
Please try to get me to 1,000 on Instagram. I'll do a giveaway. I want to start doing live streams on
So
Instagram.
everyone's going to go over to Instagram now and follow Tony.
If you're not,
And then
that'd
they're
be
going to go to
awesome.
rivercitypencompany.com and buy a pen.
And
So
then
that's everyone's assignment tonight.
there you go. And then I am Keitaro. Perfect. Thank you for that correction.
Keitaro. Okay, nice to meet you,
Keitaro.
Keitaro.
Awesome.
And
Thank you,
nice to meet
everyone.
a lot of people here. We've a lot of people, a lot of names I don't recognize. Of course, they might be different here than they are on other platforms. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun, definitely. And thank you
And
for Chanel for joining us. And I do remember you from what's it called, Orlando last year, hanging out with us. So
yep. And then if anyone's in Baltimore, come say hi to Rich and I.
yeah, we're last year we were almost back to back, so
We
we're
were,
pretty
yeah, we
close to
were
each
back to
other.
back.
So if
Yeah,
we're in the same spots, I've been in the same spot for 3 years now, so I'll probably be in the same spot. And they usually keep you in the same spot unless you ask for a different one. So we'll probably be pretty close to each other in Baltimore. So you can
that would be
come and
great.
talk to all of us, and um, be looking forward to seeing everyone there if you come.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all the talking. We'll catch you next time.
Bye bye.